Okay, guys, so I just woke up and I looked on my feed on YouTube and I saw some stuff about No Man's Sky that kind of confused me. Didn't confuse me about the game. I know my shit. Um, but some people were asking questions that I can answer. Um, yes, there will be black holes. Um, there's no gravity. He said the suit compensates for that in an interview, and that having a gravity mechanic on a planet would make it harder to land your ship, and the jetpack mechanic, um, and the ragdolling effect for when you shoot land disruptors at uh, animals, such as Anthony Carboni did in their interview for PlayStation. Um, 18 quintillion planets. Don't know if I said that. It's procedurally generated, so they didn't make all 18 quintillion planets. Um, they came up with a math formula, set a list of rules for it to follow, and did that. Um, they didn't design the animals. That was also a procedurally generated thing. All the trees and everything in the game, including the guns, the ships, the space stations. Um, there are faction territories, um, designated by color. So whenever you come into an area and you'll see a saturated color, such as the universe around you, whatever, it could be red, it could be purple, it could be blue or something like that. That will be that faction's territory. You'll see traders in there all the same because traders are everywhere. But in each area, there will be like an increased chance for pirates or just other factions. Um, Whenever you discover something with your scanner, you go and upload that at a terminal. You'll see big pylons just up in the fucking sky. And you go there and you upload it, and that's how you get your units. That's the credit system. Um, the bigger, or not the bigger, the more relevant to the lore, or the better the discovery, the more units you'll get. Um, you can't scan ships of other people or other players or other NPCs or anything like that while you're out in the world or in space. You can only do that while you're at the space stations. And you can interact with those NPCs whether or not you want to buy those ships or not. Um, there's a window in the space stations. Sean Murray made that clear. He thought that was the coolest thing ever. When you're in the space station, as a matter of fact, and you're at the window, and you look out the window, you'll have a little dot reticule. And in that dot reticule is the entire play area that would have taken you 20 to 30 minutes, depending on how fast you were going. If you went through and you messed around a little bit, not just running through it, and you just played around, and you just played around in that area, and once you get out into space, it's not a matte painting of the world. It's not the type of world that is. It's not just a random picture over the world. If you look at the world and you see little islands, or you see continents, or you see lakes, or you see just a bunch of water, that is how the actual planet is. If you go in, if you see a landmass, you put your reticule on that in space, and you just fly toward it, you will get to that landmass. Everything that you see on the planet is there. Um, when you go out to out of the galaxy map, you'll see your friends' names. It might take you a while to get there. Your ship does have hyperdrive, so depending on the fuel you have, you actually have to get fuel for your ship to be able to go. You have to actually travel to them, and you might want them to stay still so you can get to them. You might want to set a meeting place. You might just want to be like, hey, let's just play the fucking game and get to the center of the universe, to the Atlas. At least I imagine you can meet people in there. Um, I I don't know if this is true though, because everyone's saying you start off in the same galaxy. That might be just the farthest galaxy away from the center of the universe. But if that's true, just meet up on that planet or in that galaxy if everyone starts there. Um, You cannot teleport back to your ship. You cannot create a robot companion like in the hit Interstellar from the 70 questions that he was bombarded with. Cannot destroy planets. He seemed to have said you could destroy space stations. I know you can destroy freighters if you have enough people and firepower. But he didn't say no to that question. So I assume from him not saying no, you could destroy a space station. He said it would be really hard. He said that there are black holes. He didn't say how they function. But if you get pulled into one and it's just kind of a death thing, then you'll just spawn back at the space station. If you get shot down above a planet, like close enough to the planet's atmosphere, you will actually crash land on that planet. That's a cool thing. When you die, you keep the stuff you had on you when you died. So you don't have to restart your character or anything like Minecraft. You can grief other players. I'm gonna get some people, get my friends, convince them to buy this shit and just fucking serve them. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to ask. Oh, hold on. With the aliens, the other races, if you do things with them or for them, you gain rep. It's not like a Destiny thing where it's like a little dial of rep. You fill up, you go to the next level. You can sit down at shrines and learn words of languages, like the Korvax, Korvax, right? You learn their language. You can learn 1 or 2 words at a time if you do the right action, or you could just be a space dick and shoot your gun in the sky, or fall asleep in front of the thing, or just there's a bunch of actions. The wrong one could result in something very bad. And you learn the words, and when you go to talk to that race, they'll speak in their language, and you won't understand them except for if they use the words you learned. And if you do stuff for that faction, you might get better prices, you might get better stuff to buy in the shop. I don't know if this is true, he didn't comment on it. There was speculation that if you got high enough rank with rep with a certain faction, that if you go and attacked a freighter or something of an opposite faction, that you could call them in and help you. I assume that you could with pirates because they're kind of everywhere, but I don't see how the Korvax, they're a science race, so I don't think they would come out and help you fight a freighter. I think that was it. I think that was the last one. Oh, you can find product blueprints to build things. You have to build some kind of chip to call your ship to a helipad at a base, if it's somewhere else and you made your way there. You can get the land disruptor, there's that. You can get that product blueprint from factories. You can either hack into the factory or blow it up and blow up the door. If you blow up the door, sentinels will come after you, bunch of douchebags. I've seen 2 types of sentinels, 3 types. The big ATST walker types, the little floating guilty spark one from Halo, and then like a little crab walker one. But yeah, if you have any questions, ask in the comments. Feel free to like, feel free to subscribe. Catch you guys later.